Hi Reddit. I'm James. I'm 27 years old. And honestly, if you told me a year ago that I'd be throwing my mother out of her own birthday party, I would have laughed in your face. But here we are. And believe me, you're not even ready for how bad it got. Let me back up a little. Growing up, my mom, Angela, made sure I knew one thing. I was a burden. It wasn't always outright. Not until I was older, but the hints were everywhere. The way she compared me to better kids at church. The way she rolled her eyes when I brought home good grades, like it wasn't enough. The way she sighed when I told her I got a promotion, like it just inconvenienced her. Still, despite everything, I kept trying. Because she's my mom, right? That's what you're supposed to do. Fast forward to a few weeks ago. Mom's turning 55. She starts hinting about how sad it is that no one throws her a party anymore. I bite. I organize a nice dinner at a fancy restaurant. Not crazy expensive, but way nicer than she deserved. I invited family, some of her old friends, even bought a big stupid cake with her name on it. Spent way too much. And for once, I thought, maybe this would be the moment. Maybe she'd actually smile at me like I wasn't some burden she regretted. You can already guess how that worked out. The night started okay. She was laughing, fake hugging distant cousins she hadn't spoken to in years. Sipping wine, then more wine, then double vodkas. By the time dinner hit the table, she was wobbling when she stood up to make a thank you speech. I should have stopped her. God, I wish I had. She clinked her glass for attention, slurred a few compliments at random people around the table, then turned directly to me, pointed, and said, loud enough for the entire restaurant to hear. And let's all thank James, my biggest mistake. Should have stopped at one kid, but nope, had to be stuck with his whiny ass too. Laughter from her friends, from a few of the drunk cousins. Even a couple of strangers at the next table chuckled awkwardly. I sat there, frozen, heart racing, face burning, everyone staring. Mom just kept giggling, thinking she was hilarious. I stood up, walked straight to the manager, told him, there's a drunk woman causing a scene at table 6. I want her removed. 5 minutes later, security showed up. Escorted my own mother out of the restaurant while she shrieked about ungrateful kids and ruined birthdays. Everyone watched. Phones came out. Some people clapped. I didn't. I just paid the check, left the cake untouched on the table, and walked out. Walking out of that restaurant felt surreal. Half the guests sat there awkwardly picking at their food. Others left without saying a word. Lauren, my older sister, caught up to me in the parking lot. She grabbed my arm. James, what the hell was that? You embarrassed her. I laughed. I couldn't help it. I embarrassed her? Did you miss the part where she called me her biggest mistake in front of 50 people? Lauren rolled her eyes. You know how she gets when she drinks. Exactly. And you still think that's an excuse. She didn't answer, just huffed and stomped back inside, muttering something about keeping the peace. Typical Lauren. Always the peacemaker. Always the one pretending mom's venom was just her way of showing love. When I got home, I expected a few angry texts, maybe a voicemail or two. Well, I didn't expect an absolute explosion. Group chats blowing up. Family Facebook posts about how children should honor their parents no matter what. Phone calls from relatives I hadn't spoken to in years. Apparently, Mom went on a full victim tour the second she got tossed, telling everyone I attacked her, that I ruined her special day out of spite. No mention of what she actually said. No mention of the years of emotional garbage she piled on me growing up. Just me, the bad son. Again, one of the worst messages came from Uncle Brad, a guy who never showed up for birthdays or holidays, but suddenly had a lot to say now. Family's all we have, James. You need to swallow your pride and apologize. You humiliated your poor mother. I almost smashed my phone reading that. Because no one, not a single damn person, was willing to say, hey, maybe getting wasted and trashing your kid in public makes you the bad guy. Nope. I was just supposed to suck it up. Smile. Take the hit. Pretend everything was fine. Like always. For a few hours, I actually considered it. Sending some half-assed apology texts just to shut them all up. Keeping the fake peace for another few miserable years. But then I looked at a photo of Mia on my nightstand. My niece, Lauren's daughter. Little toddler, beaming at me from under her goofy birthday hat. And I realized I wouldn't want her to think this is normal. I wouldn't want her growing up thinking love looked like guilt trips and public humiliation. I sure as hell didn't want to model that for her. So I made a decision. No apology. No fake family dinners. No pretending anymore. If cutting out toxic people made me the villain in their story, good. I'd wear that like a badge of honor. The next few days were a total war zone. Texts kept rolling in. Calls I didn't answer. Voicemails I deleted after hearing the first few words. It was the same crap over and over. Family is forever, James. You'll regret this when she's gone. You're being dramatic. She didn't mean it. No one said, hey, what she did was messed up. Then came a nuclear bomb. Lauren texted me a screenshot of a Facebook post Mom made. Front and center. A picture of her crying, fake crocodile tears and everything, captioned, some children only exist to break their parents' hearts. Hundreds of likes. Dozens of comments calling her brave, strong, a saint for putting up with disrespectful kids. My name wasn't mentioned, but everyone knew exactly who she meant. Laura messaged me after. I'm sorry, James. I didn't know she'd go that far. I didn't answer, because by that point I was past angry. I was done. I blocked her. Everywhere. Phone. Social media. Email. Blocked every flying monkey relative too. The ones who only remembered I existed when there was drama to feed off. Then I sat down and wrote an email. Short. Cold. Final. Sent it to the family group chat. I'm choosing to remove myself from this family dynamic. Do not contact me further. If you show up at my house, I will call the police. This is not up for discussion. Hit send. Muted the group chat permanently. And just like that, I was free. Or so I thought. Because people like Mom, they don't let go quietly. A week later, she showed up at my job. I was in the middle of a staff meeting when the receptionist buzzed me. James? There's a woman here insisting she needs to speak to you. Says it's an emergency. My stomach dropped. I knew before they even said her name. Mom. I went to the lobby. There she was, sitting with her arms crossed, fake tears already welling up. The second she saw me, she launched into it. James, baby, please just talk to me. We're family. You're breaking my heart. My coworkers stared. Customers stared. Everyone stared. And me? I didn't say a word. Just walked back to my office and called building security. They escorted her out. Again, screaming the whole way about how she raised me better than this and how God would punish me for abandoning my mother. That night, I got a text from Lauren. You okay? I just sent back. Yeah, finally. After she got thrown out of my work, I figured that had to be rock bottom for her. Guess what? I was dead wrong. Because narcissists like my mom, when shame doesn't work, when guilt doesn't work, they get nasty. A few days later, I was sitting at home, unwinding after a long day when my phone buzzed. New email. Subject line. Urgent, read James. Sender. Some random Gmail address I didn't recognize. At first, I almost deleted it. But curiosity got the better of me. I opened it, and what I saw made my blood boil. It was an email blast. Sent to my boss, my coworkers, even a few clients I'd worked with. Attached was a long, pathetic letter claiming I was emotionally unstable. I had violent tendencies. I had abandoned my poor, aging mother after years of her selfless support. I was not to be trusted with sensitive company information. It was written like some unhinged HR complaint crossed with a Lifetime movie villain monologue. I scrolled through it, feeling a mix of rage and disbelief. At the very bottom, in tiny letters, sent by concerned citizen. Coward. But it wasn't just the email. Someone, wonder who, also left a 1-star Google review on my company's page, accusing me, by name, of unprofessional behavior and hostility toward clients. It was personal, targeted, and it could have cost me everything. Lucky for me, my boss is a good guy. He called me into his office the next day, slid the email across his desk. James, want to explain? I told him everything, from the drunken birthday speech to her public meltdowns to the harassment. I even showed him the restaurant security footage the manager emailed me afterward. The footage of her being dragged out, slurring, screaming. My boss read it all, watched the video, then leaned back in his chair, sighing. Sounds like you've got a crazy one on your hands. Don't worry. We've seen worse. You're fine here. Relief hit me like a damn freight train. Still, I wasn't about to let it slide. I forwarded everything to my lawyer. He filed a cease and desist letter against her the same day. And let me tell you, when she got served, the neighbor said you could hear her screaming from 3 houses down. Lauren texted me after, "You're doing the right thing. It's not your job to fix her." For the first time in my life, I actually believed it. For a little while after the cease and desist, everything went quiet. Too quiet. No random show-ups. No fake emails. No psychotic Facebook posts. I should have known better. Because when people like my mom can't get to you directly, they find new ways to hit you where it hurts. It started with Lauren. One night, she called me, voice shaking. "James," she showed up at Mia's daycare. I nearly dropped my phone. What? Said she was there to pick up her granddaughter. Claimed you, and I gave her permission. My heart stopped. Mia wasn't even her granddaughter. Lauren and I aren't even full siblings. We share a dad, not a mom. But that didn't matter to Mom. She just wanted leverage. A pawn. And she almost got one. Thankfully, the daycare workers didn't buy her act. Lauren had already warned them about potential family drama. Strict pickup list, photo IDs required. They turned Mom away and threatened to call the police if she didn't leave. But the fact that she even tried? Unforgivable. Lauren filed for a restraining order the next morning. We both beefed up home security too. New locks, Ring cameras, motion lights. It was expensive, but worth it, because now we knew Mom wasn't just trying to ruin my life anymore. She was willing to drag a 2-year-old into it. After the daycare incident, my lawyer went nuclear. Filed for a permanent protective order. Started prepping for possible criminal charges if she ever showed up near us again. Mom must have realized she went too far because she backed off for real this time. Or maybe she just found a new audience to play the victim for. Doesn't matter, because she lost. And the best part? When the rest of the family found out she tried to abduct Mia, even her biggest offenders dropped her like a hot rock. No more sympathy posts. No more fake tears about losing her son. Just silence. Beautiful, glorious silence. Lauren sent me a text later. "You realize you basically saved my daughter's life, right?" And for the first time in a long time, I didn't feel like the bad son, or the screw-up, or the problem. I felt like exactly who I was supposed to be. A man who protected his family, even for his own blood. After Mom pulled the daycare stunt, things finally settled. No more late-night banging on doors. No more crazy emails. No more screaming matches in parking lots. It was over, at least on the surface. But anyone who's been through something like this knows. The outside quiet doesn't fix the mess left inside. Not even close. Lauren struggled hard. Every time Mia ran to the window when a car pulled up, she stiffened. Every time the phone rang from an unknown number, she flinched. Me? I didn't sleep right for months. Every creak in the house made me sit up straight in bed. Every knock on the door had my heart hammering like it was about to explode. It's hard to explain to people who haven't been through it. When someone who's supposed to love you spends their energy trying to destroy you, you don't just heal because the noise stops. You live in survival mode. For a long time, therapy helped. A lot. Lauren and I both started seeing someone separately. No shame in admitting that. I'll be real. The first few sessions, I was furious. At Mom. At the family. At myself. Because deep down, I kept thinking, how did I let it get this far? How did I spend years eating her insults, believing the crap she fed me, laughing off the pain to keep the peace? Why didn't I stand up for myself sooner? My therapist said something I'll never forget. You can't blame your past self for doing whatever it took to survive. You're not surviving anymore, James. You're living. Sounds cheesy typed out, but when you've been a punching bag your whole life, hearing someone say it out loud, it matters. It sticks. Slowly, I started believing it. Started letting go of the guilt. Started seeing the line between keeping the peace and setting yourself on fire to keep someone else warm. And I'll tell you something else. The quieter my life got without Mom in it, the louder I got inside my own head. For the first time in my life, I wasn't someone's second choice. I wasn't an afterthought. I wasn't a burden. I was me, and that was enough. 6 months passed. No calls. No emails. No surprise visits. It was like Mom had finally disappeared from the planet. And slowly, almost without noticing, life got better. I started sleeping through the night again. Lauren and I started hanging out more just because we wanted to, not because we were trauma bonded by chaos. Mia grew more confident too, less clinging, less anxiety, more pure, joyful little kid energy. Every laugh, every messy art project stuck to the fridge, every bedtime story, it all felt like small victories. Proof we were building something better than what we came from. Then one Saturday, we took Mia to a local fair. Nothing fancy, just a bunch of food trucks, a petting zoo, and a terrible local band playing 90s covers on a sad little stage. Mia was obsessed with the pony rides. Lauren and I were sitting on a bench, eating funnel cake when it happened. An older woman walked by. Short, gray hair, kind of hunched over. For a split second, I froze. From behind, she looked just like Mom. My heart slammed against my ribs. Hands sweaty, adrenaline spiking, ready for a fight that wasn't coming. But when she turned around, smiling sweetly at a little boy holding her hand, I realized it wasn't her, not even close. And even if it had been, I wouldn't have panicked. I wouldn't have needed security. I wouldn't have needed a lawyer. Because now I had something Mom could never touch. Peace. Real peace. The kind you don't even realize you're missing until you finally have it. Laura nudged me. You okay? I smiled. Really smiled. Yeah, for the first time in a long time. I think I actually am. Later that night, after Mia passed out from sugar and pony rides, Lauren and I sat on the porch, talking about nothing important, watching the stars, laughing about how bad the band was. And somewhere between the second beer and the dumb jokes, I realized Mom didn't win. She tried everything: guilt, shame, lies, manipulation. She pulled every trick in the narcissist handbook, and she still lost. Because the only thing she ever wanted control was the one thing she could never take from me again. About a month after the fair, I got a letter in the mail. Real mail. Handwritten address. No return name. The second I saw it, my gut twisted. Lauren found me standing on the porch, envelope in hand, just staring at it. James? You okay? I nodded, but I wasn't sure if I meant it. Because I knew exactly who it was from. And I wasn't sure I wanted to know what it said. Inside, two things. A folded, sloppy handwritten letter. A crumpled, photocopied page from a will. The letter was typical Mom. Guilt. Shame. Blame. You broke my heart. You'll regret cutting me out. I hope you can live with yourself after what you've done. Nothing new. Nothing surprising. What hit harder was the second page. The copy of the will. Turns out, Mom had officially written me out of any inheritance. Not that there was much to inherit. Just her broken-down house and whatever debts she hadn't racked up. But still, seeing it in black and white, seeing my name crossed out, it punched harder than I expected. At the bottom of the letter, one last line. You are no longer my son. I sat down on the porch steps, staring at those words. Lauren sat next to me, quiet, letting me have a moment. Not trying to fix it. Not trying to look on the bright side. Just there. Exactly what Mom never was. And here's the thing. Part of me hurt. Of course it did. No matter how much you know someone's toxic, no matter how much you protect yourself, they're still your parent. There's a part of your brain, deep and stupid and stubborn, that still craves their approval. That still hopes, maybe, somehow, they'll wake up and realize how badly they messed up. But staring at that paper, I finally accepted it. She never would. And that's not on me. That's on her. I folded the letter up, tossed it straight into the fire pit without another thought. Watched the flames eat it alive. Lauren squeezed my hand. She lost a son today, she said. You didn't lose anything. And she was right. For the first time in forever, it actually felt like closure. The letter burned. The bridge torched. The chapter closed. I thought we were finally done with her. But of course, Mom had one more grenade tucked away. A final middle finger from beyond her little kingdom of spite. About 2 weeks after I burned the letter, Lauren called me, frantic. James, you need to sit down. I thought something had happened to Mia. I thought there was an accident. Something serious. But no, something worse. Mom had taken out a small life insurance policy years ago. Nothing big, but just enough. And guess who she listed as the sole beneficiary? Lauren. Not me. Not any blood relative. Lauren, my half-sister, who she always resented, barely tolerated, barely even called family. Why? Because, according to the paperwork Lauren found, Mom wrote a note attached to the policy. Maybe James will learn what it feels like to be passed over. Pure spite from a grave. Lauren was sobbing on the phone. James, I don't want her money. I didn't even know about it. I swear to God, I'll tear it up. I cut her off. It's not your fault. Because it wasn't. Mom had set this up years ago. Carefully. Calculating. Making sure that even if she was dead, she could hurt me one last time. Lauren insisted on donating every penny of the insurance payout to a domestic abuse shelter. In Mom's name. She even sent me the receipt when it was done. For a while it stung. Not because of the money. I didn't want a damn cent from her. It was the principle. The idea that after everything, the birthday humiliation, the public meltdowns, the harassment, the threats against Mia, after all of it, she still thought the final word would be hers, that she could still control the story. But she was wrong, because standing there, watching Lauren hand that donation check to the shelter director, seeing the way the staff hugged her and thanked her, seeing the way those women smiled through their pain, I realized something Mom never understood. Real love doesn't control. It lifts. It frees. It rebuilds what cruelty tries to destroy. Mom's money wasn't a curse. It was a blessing. Not for me. Not for her. But for people who actually needed it. People strong enough to survive what she couldn't even begin to understand. It's crazy how life moves on once you finally cut the poison out. After everything, the restaurant meltdown, the harassment, the smear campaigns, the daycare stunt, the nasty will, the insurance pettiness. I thought I'd be carrying the weight of it forever. Turns out, peace is louder than pain once you let it in. Lauren and I grew even closer. We turned into the family we always needed, for each other and for Mia. No guilt, no drama, no fake holidays full of whispered insults and backhanded compliments. Just real family. Built, not born. Mia grew into a happy, fearless little firecracker. One day she asked me, "Uncle James, how come we don't see Nana?" Lauren tensed. I smiled. Because sometimes, sweetie, people are too sad inside to know how to love properly. So we choose to be around people who know how. Simple. Honest. And for once, it didn't hurt to say it. Work got better too. Turns out, when you're not constantly bracing for an attack from someone who's supposed to love you, you actually thrive. I got a promotion. Started dating again. Real relationships this time. Not ones built on rescuing broken people or proving my worth. Lauren even joked once, "You're not the guy who planned Mom's birthday party anymore." And she was right. That guy, he's gone. Buried under the ashes of one really expensive, really terrible cake. Sometimes I wonder if Mom ever regretted it. If she ever sat alone and realized she pushed away the one kid who would have stood by her if she just tried. Maybe. Maybe not. It doesn't really matter anymore. Because here's the truth. I didn't lose a mother. I lost a bully, a manipulator, a poison disguised as family. And the life I built after walking away, it's better than anything I ever could have at trying to fix her. I still keep that photo of Mia on my nightstand. The one from her second birthday. Before the daycare drama, before the court orders, before everything exploded. It reminds me why I fought so hard. Why I walked away. Why I'll never, ever settle for less again. In the end, Mom taught me one thing. Not the way she wanted to, but maybe the most important lesson of all. Sometimes the bravest thing you'll ever do is say, "This ends with me." And when you do, you don't just save yourself. You save everyone who comes after you, too.